This is the Live Well and Thrive podcast, hosted by Michael Torsha, health and wellness expert. It's time to shape up, America.
Hi, it's Mike Torsha, and welcome to Live Well and Thrive. I have a very special guest, Craig Susser. You'll know him from Craig's in West Hollywood. It's one of the hottest celebrity hotspots in California and has some of the best food. On top of it, he's got this incredible vegan ice cream that'll blow your mind. It tastes like the real thing. Craig, welcome to the show.
Oh, you're very sweet. That was a hell of an introduction. Thanks for having me.
So, Craig, you've had some journey. I mean, you first started out, Dan Tana's?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it first started out, you're just trying to make money going to college, right? What's a quick way to make some money? You know, I knew of, a waiter, bartender. So started there, putting my way through college. Like everybody in LA, got the acting bug. So I'm waiting, bartending, and then all of a sudden I'm 22. I'm in an acting class and I'm working somewhere else. We go to Dan Tana's once in a while to kind of celebrate. I kind of know the guys a little bit, but not really. And I happened in one night and they said, "Hey, you're a waiter, right?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You ever been a bartender?" And I said, "No." They're like, "Perfect." And I'm like, "What do you mean perfect?" They're like, somebody with no habits is better than somebody with bad habits.
Ah, that's true.
And so, and especially a place like Tana's, which was really old school. So they kind of took me under their wing, and it was a little rough for a while. The regulars were a little hard on me, considering I was the first guy they hired in 7 years. And that's how I started in the business. It was an ends to a mean, it was a means to an end, and I got a lot of experience, and it was a lot of fun, and that's how I got. And then it just kind of kept going. I mean, the difference between the mechanics of being a waiter and actually offering hospitality, that's where I first learned the difference. And to me, the difference is the mechanics of bringing you a glass of water. I mean, I can train anybody to do that. It's how do I make you feel when you get the glass of water?
Right.
And that's the difference, right? And so that goes from the person that takes your car in valet to the person that greets you at the door, to your waiter, to your bartender, to your busboy, to me, to everybody has got the same mentality of it's not just a body, it's you. And what do you want? And how do I make your night special? How do I this world is crazy right now. There's a lot of things changing, right? And we're all kind of a little anxious. So where's the one place that I can go and relax, hang with my friends, be treated like I'm specifically me, and people care about what I want? And that's the difference. That's the lens with which I look at hospitality. And I think it's what makes Craig's unique, and I think it's what resonates with people. And especially today, we've just lived through a chaotic time with the fires, and people are coming to the restaurant and they're thanking me for having a spot where they feel comfortable and they can relax. And I'm looking at them, it's the greatest gift in the whole wide world, that after 14 years, we're still that much a part of people's lives.
I see it every time I'm there. I'm usually there every Thursday night.
Yeah.
And I got to say, it feels like my second home.
Good.
I feel welcomed. Everybody, you're right, from the valet to security by the door, to your hostess, waiters, bartenders, they're all feeling like, how are you? They say your first name.
Right.
They remember who you are, and they're happy to see you. I always see you greeting everybody, sitting down, chatting. They feel like, wow, Craig, come over. I had this one couple, I don't forget where they were, from Berlin or something. Craig sat down with us for a few minutes. That was so wonderful. That meant so much to them.
But how do you become a regular unless I get to know you? And I got to say hello first.
Yeah.
At least be appreciative that you came in. You might be only coming in once. You might just be in LA one time. And if I get a chance to come by and say hello and thanks for coming in, great. If it's something that it's a restaurant that resonated with you and you want to become a regular, well, then we've got to start to have some sort of a relationship so that I know who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you drink, what you don't drink. Those are all really important things I remember when I was a young bartender, I worked Sunday nights for, I don't know, 15 years. And the same people came in every Sunday night. And I would see them walk in the door. I'd make their drink, and I'd slide it to them as they were walking by the bar. And it's just those little things,
Yeah,
right?
it means a lot.
That it means a lot.
It's so funny the way it goes. I know what you want, Mike. I go, thanks. He never gives me a menu anymore because he knows what I want.
Right.
Because that's what I enjoy when I come to your restaurant. I usually eat the same thing for quite a while. Then I switch and I keep eating that. That's some creature of habit, right? But they know exactly how I like the sauté calamari. They know how I want my steak. They know I want that steamed spinach with the steak.
Right.
And they always know to bring that hot sauce for me. It's amazing.
But you think about, so we're lucky enough to serve that many people a night. Say it's 200, 300, 400 some nights. And it's over a 14-year period. That's a lot of detail, right? How's your family? How's your friend? Don't you usually come in with so-and-so? Where is he? Oh, he's visiting his brother. He's over, what's going on? Or was he sick? Wasn't he in the hospital? Like, just stuff that makes it personal and makes it feel like, you're at home.
Yeah, you succeeded exactly what your goal was. And I got to say, people who I've met out, who never went to your restaurant, as soon as I mentioned your restaurant, I've heard so much about that. Does it have good food? I go, fantastic food. Most of all, it's an experience. It's not just a place to go eat good food. It's an experience.
Well, thank you. It's good. It's good, classic, upscale comfort food. The service is really good, but it's really about the environment and the hospitality that I think makes it unique and different. Yeah. And also, it's little things like being able to hear really good sound. We go to restaurants, and the thing now is to make them loud. It feels vibrant. It feels like there's a lot of energy in the place. And sometimes I just want to be with my friends and actually be able to hear people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that makes me old or if it just, I want energy, but I actually want to be able to listen and hear the people that I'm with.
It's so refreshing to hear that because I've gone to so many restaurants where it's so loud. Can't even hear myself think. I'm trying to have a conversation. I have to raise the volume of my voice because they raise the music after 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
It gets like a club.
Yeah.
And even Frank, I was out with Frank Stallone and Sugar Ray Leonard, and we were at this restaurant, and as soon as it hit 9 o'clock, it was so loud. And so Frank, waved over to the manager and said, we're trying to have a conversation here. Yeah. Well, we at 9 o'clock, the DJ comes on and plays this music because we want to give it a club feeling. But he goes, we're dining here, and we can't even hear ourselves think.
Right, which is, by the way, we have different playlists at different volumes throughout the night, but there's a register there, right?
You can still talk.
I want Champ coming in and having a good time, but I'm fascinated by him. We've known each other a long time, and Frank as well. I want to be able to talk to them.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on in their lives. I want to know what's going on with their kids and their families, and like, where are you appearing next? Where are you going? Like, I want to hear that stuff, and you can't really if the music's too loud. But I get, like, everybody's got their own business model, and we go to different restaurants, and people always get really anxious when they go to dinner with me and my wife. And I always say, don't worry about me. I've got the widest strike zone in the world. I'm in the business. Like, I'm the most forgiving customer because I know what it takes to open the place, get the food on the table. I'm easy. I feel their stress and I see their stress, and I know what's going on because I understand the mechanics of the restaurant business. But I'm like the easiest customer there is.
Now, when you laid out the design, did you purposely make it have the bar there and the way it's laid out? Because it's brilliant.
Well, thank you. So the goal was, and in talking with the architect Jay Charles and our contractor Bob and David, who did the actual woodwork, when we were talking about how do you create an old school New York style 1940s restaurant in today's day and age. And what's great is to have the bar in the restaurant, but a little bit separate, right?
Yeah.
And then, most people would think that we like big rooms so that we can see each other, but we really don't. As humans, we like these little cubby holes. And so we kind of designated certain areas because also it's a clever way of, okay, everybody wants a corner booth.
Yeah.
Well, how do you, the best way to do it is to create more corners. I mean, a room only has 4 corners. So if I can create little walls and little banquettes, now I've got 7 corner booths because I've got these little cubby holes and stuff like that. And also, people like to be hidden. Some days you want to be you're out with your guy friends and you want to have dinner and you want to be seen by a bunch of people. Sometimes you're with another couple or something like that and you want a little quieter table.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might be having a really important business decision or discussion and you want to be somewhere really quiet. Like there's all different reasons. And so Craig's was built with the idea that, like, I'm going to go with my family early. I can have a business dinner in the middle. I can have a friend's dinner that's a little more clubby later. And it's built for a multiple of occasions, and the food is also the same way. So it goes from everything from, like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to indulge, and I want to eat heavy. I can eat a little healthier, or I can be really light and eat, plant-based. So it's built to be a very variable kind of restaurant.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, your vegan chicken parmesan.
Yeah.
Is so well known in this town.
Yeah.
People talk about it.
Yeah, and the spaghetti squash, primavera.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it's really important. People talk about being diverse, and I think we all pay a little bit of lip service to it. But the best way to be a diverse restaurant is to offer a diverse menu, which caters to people that, I don't know, if you're gluten-free, if you're dairy intolerant, if you're plant-based. Maybe you're plant-based on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And you eat steaks on Thursdays. Like, I don't care. I have no dog in the fight. I just want you to be happy, and I don't want to give you a reason not to come.
It's so funny. You'll get a kick out of this. There's a new private club in Beverly Hills called Gravitas.
Yeah.
And the owners are friends of mine, and they made me a founding member. But I rarely go there to eat. And I referenced your menu.
Right.
That they should be more comprehensive and offer more options for people because it's very limited.
Yeah.
I mean, you have everything. Anybody can go there and can eat.
Right.
Sometimes people go, "Oh, I don't go out because I have a very strict diet." Well, I don't care if you're a fitness person or you're diabetic or cardiovascular disease or just a vegan, vegetarian. There's something for everybody on their menu.
Right.
Which is amazing.
And also, I mean, you got to give people back to having a wide strike zone, right? So the people that run Gravitas are friends of mine, and I know who they are, and I root for everybody that opens in LA because I know how hard it is. But also, hopefully, they'll do what I did in the beginning, and that is listen to their customers and make those adjustments, and not stick their foot in the ground and say, "Well, this is what we offer, and this is the only way it is." So I'm hoping they're really smart people, and I'm hoping they make those.
But they do make the change. It's so funny. It's like I think it was the first week I was there. I had gotten steak there too, right? And I had asked I wanted grilled mushroom and onions with my steak. Mm-hmm. And the waiter said, well, the waiter went up to the chef and asked him, and he said, he doesn't have any mushroom and onions. So I called Seth the next day. So, Seth, I wanted grilled mushrooms and onions with my steak.
Right.
What do you mean you don't have it? He goes, don't worry. Next time you come, you're going to have it. So, following week I went there,
right.
Grilled mushroom and onions.
Good.
So they jump on it right
Good.
away.
And but by the way, Seth's a smart guy, and he's in the hospitality business, and that's all you want from somebody.
To listen, right?
Listen, give me what I want, or at least make an attempt.
Yeah.
There was there's I've told this story before, but Jerry Weintraub was very important to me, and a really well-known guy, and important to, back when I opened 15 years ago, people followed him where he ate, and he was kind of having an argument with one of the waiters one night, and I could see it wasn't going well, and I walked over to the table and I said, "What?" And he goes, "This guy is telling me I can't have spaghetti with my clams. He only got linguine." I said, "Jerry, I got it." So walking away, waiter says to me, "What are you doing? We don't have spaghetti. We only got linguine." I go, "Are you an idiot? Here's $10. Send the busboy to the supermarket
For him,
and get
yeah.
spaghetti."
Shit, yeah.
So, but we've done that. We've done that for people that I don't even know.
Right.
I'm like, what? It's not that big a deal if you've got some. I can't do it for everybody in every instance, but I can certainly kind of keep track of it. There are certain things that we've taken off the menu because we rotate the menu a little bit. And somebody say, "Oh, I really missed this or I really missed that." And I said, "Well, next time you come in, let me know that you're coming 2 or 3 days ahead of time, and we'll make that the special that night.
That makes a person feel special.
Yeah. So, there's people that love we took the meatloaf off the menu. We took the ribs off the menu. And then sometimes we'll just float them back in as people ask and request. Look, we're in a business that it's highly competitive. You want to make people happy. You got to bring people in. And especially after 14 years, I mean, we're not the shiny new nickel. Like, you got to give people a reason to want to come back. And hospitality is the thing.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, the back room, which used to be your patio, looks like a club out of Monaco.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Did you design that too?
No, the architect, Jay Charles, came up with that design. And
the colors are magnificent.
Yeah, it's really, really, really beautiful. And, we're tweaking the lighting a little bit, making sure that people feel comfortable. But that's an interesting scenario. So you think about it, in 2011, when we opened, there was no back patio. And then we were humming along, and then COVID hit, and then everybody went to back patios. And so we quickly called an events team, got a back patio. That went well. We expanded it. We expanded it again. Then we built one in the front because you couldn't do any inside dining. And then inside dining came back. The front patio went away. And then in, January of last year, the city came along and said, well, COVID's been declared over, the permits are no longer good. We have to take down the back patio. And I said, well, is there a way for us to keep it? And they said, we have to go through the whole building permit process. Wow. And I said, okay. I mean, people really like the patio. So that was the whole thing. And how do you come up with a patio that gives you the same feeling of what you get inside? And people are now requesting to sit outside because it's so pretty and they feel comfortable. So that's the whole thing. It's like, how do you adapt and change? Because you either adapt or you die. And that's just the way it is in every business. And that's what I tell every entrepreneur that I talk to. Nothing's going to go perfectly. You're going to run into problems. It's how you solve the problems. How many times you pick yourself up and get off the mat.
But what's amazing is when you walk through to the new back room, you feel like you're in a whole different place.
Yeah.
It's different energy.
Right.
Just beautifully done.
Yep.
It looks more elegant, and it's where everybody kind of can see each other, but it has such beautiful energy, and the colors you have of the booth are amazing.
Yeah. So
it was nice because it's different,
Right. So Jay picked the colors, and I really felt that it was important to have booths out there, like we had booths inside. And so we came up with a way to kind of incorporate that stuff, and it really it's working.
Yeah, because right away I said to some of my clients, the back room of Craig's is perfect to have one of your company meetings. We have your top executives that you want to have something more intimate, because it's perfect for a private party.
Right.
Exactly. The way you have it set up.
So there are nights where people can rent that out privately.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then, on the busier nights, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, it's open for regular.
Monday through Wednesday, you can.
Yeah, I just, it's such a great vibe, and it's exciting to see people together. It's exciting, when the bar gets 2 or 3 deep and there's a game on, and it feels like old LA. And I don't really want to mess with that. And then so people can either rent out the back patio for private parties, or, on certain nights, there's a lot of people just requesting to sit out there anyway.
Plus, I like the fact that they can come through the back way.
Yeah.
They don't have to deal with the paparazzis in front.
Yeah.
Which is a nice thing.
Yeah, it's look, it's my job to protect people if they want to be protected, and they're also in a business where they're out selling something. So, if you're in a TV show or a movie, or you've just released some sort of song, if you want to go out the front and do your thing, that's none of my business. If you want to be protected and go out the back, I'm happy to help you there.
But your security guys are really great.
Good.
They're really wonderful. They make sure that the paparazzis are polite and appropriate, and they all are. They always are. And if anybody is too pushy, they're good at that.
Yeah.
You guys, both those guys are wonderful.
Well, good.
I talk to them all the time.
I love it.
And your valet is so funny. He knows me. As soon as I come out, my car's there.
He knows your rhythm.
Yeah, he does. He's like, okay, Mike's finished his steak.
It's like X clock. He's probably on his way out
Yeah.
soon. Yeah, it's good though. I'm glad to hear that. Like those are the little things that like you're not there every second, and you want to hear those things.
And you know what's beautiful too? And he gives me 2 cookies and he said, "Here, so have something for tomorrow morning with your coffee."
Yeah,
Isn't that beautiful?
It's great.
That little thing, like, here's the cookies, and they're delicious, by the way.
Yeah, that's a tradition we started right from the get-go. I wanted to be able to leave something in the car to say thank you for coming. And so we still make, I think they make 120 cookies a night, and they bag up 2 or 3 in a bag. There's usually 40, 45 bags. And, they hand them out to the cars that, as
That
long
was
as
so
they've got
funny.
'em.
I was there last Thursday, and he goes, "Oh, shoot, Mike, I ran out of cookies."
So they
He felt so bad. It was
but
hysterical.
you think about it, like, somebody says, "I can't believe you ran out of cookies." Like, well, we make 120 a night that we just give away. Like, that's a lot, right?
So I got to ask, how did you come up with the vegan ice cream?
Oh,
It's unbelievable. It tastes like real
I know.
milk ice
Thanks.
ice cream.
It was it's a great idea and not such a great idea. It kind of was a natural extension if you think about it. Going back to our conversation about making people feel at home no matter what their diet is. And people 12 years ago started switching to plant-based. It started with 1 dish, became 2 dishes, became a whole section on the menu. And you want to give people a complete dining experience, right? So you want to give them an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. And so we had started bringing in plant-based desserts that other people were making. And then one day chef was like, I don't know much about ice cream, but I think I could probably make something. Huh. And so the first one was the peanut butter crunch. The second one was the mint chip. And I saw somebody take one to go one night, and I thought, I wonder if that's I wonder if we could like pint it up and it'd be a product. Wow. And that's kind of where it started. So
that's wild.
And then we've been in different stores, different areas of the country. We're now going to be available on Goldbelly. You'll be able to just buy it and ship it anywhere you want, so you can have it right.
Goldbelly's fantastic.
Yeah. So you can just have it directly to your door. And then also we do a lot of wholesale work with Fat Burger, Johnny Rockets, Burger Lounge. So, if you order a shake there, they use our ice cream. So,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just, it's interesting. 59, I flex in and out of plant-based. And I've gotten to the point where I'm not allergic to anything, and I just don't feel particularly good. I get a little tired when I eat ice cream. It's weird. So I'll go out with my kids and I'll have some ice cream. I'm like, ugh, what did I eat that for? Like, I'm just like, now I want to take a nap. Yeah. And I don't get that with the vegan ice cream. And I feel for the cashew-based ice cream as close as you can come to traditional dairy ice cream. And I feel like our product, anytime I can eat a plant-based product that doesn't make me feel like I'm sacrificing taste, I will lean into.
So what is your sweetener for the ice cream? Do you know?
Oh, no, it's sugar. I mean, there's only 2 things that make that magical thing that happen in our mouths when you eat ice cream, and it's fat and sugar put together.
Yeah.
We just get our fat from the cashew.
Right.
Instead of a dairy fat.
It's a great
right.
fat.
So
yeah.
it's got sugar in it. And there's nothing wrong with sugar. There's nothing wrong with, look, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, a lot of our diets, except for the highly processed stuff. But everything in moderation.
Well, plus, you're right. I would prefer to take sugar, a natural source from the ground, than some chemical that's going to create problems with my adrenal glands, my kidneys, my liver, and all these other things. Because people get these incredible bloat for like the xylitol, the stevia, all these things,
Right.
all this digestive disorders from all these sugar-free products. When if you just moderate amount of sugar, you're fine.
Right.
It's a natural ingredient.
I mean, that doesn't stop me from having a good old fashioned Diet Coke once in a while. But but I think it's everything in moderation. But the things that I think we're discovering is how much of the high fructose corn syrup is being injected into so many things, and it's the highly processed stuff that I think just over the last 30, 40, 50 years, we don't even realize what's being done to our food. And that's, there are some people that are like, oh, I don't like to eat out that much because it's so, it's so fatty or whatever. And I'm like, actually, the restaurants like ours, I mean, we cook as cleanly as possible because I might see you once, twice a week, 3 times a week. We are taking care of our regulars. And if you don't feel good after you eat at a restaurant, you're probably not going back.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some restaurants that I think are delicious, and then I'm like, oh God, I kind of feel like that was a little too much.
Or the dressing could have been spoiled, and you get food poisoning.
Yeah, I mean, God, that's the stuff that keeps you up at night, right? So we're so careful about dating, processing, first in, first out. Like those are all the things that the mechanics. What I was talking about earlier, of when you take me out to dinner, and they greet me with a smile, and the food's good, and it comes within a reasonable time, I'm a happy guy. Like I'm not complaining too much because I understand the mechanics of making sure that things haven't spoiled, that everything's clean, that everything's done right.
So
like it's just, I mean, we have people that start at 6:30 in the morning, and the first thing they do is start cleaning. And they start in the kitchen and they work their way out, all the way. Like in my brain, I look at little things like the corners of the bathrooms. I look at vents. I look at paintings if there's dust on it. Like those are the things that I look at when I walk into a home, when I walk into a restaurant. Those are the things that tell me whether or not it's clean and cared for.
You're so true. I've been to some restaurants where they're beautiful, and I go into the bathroom, I'm like, this looks like a bathroom in a Denny's.
Yeah.
Like, why would you have a magnificent dining room and you go into the bathroom and it's disgustingly dirty?
Yeah. But it takes a lot of upkeep, and it takes a lot of manpower to keep. We've got a whole team of men and women that like work really hard, almost around the clock. If you think about it, a chef will order what he needs at 9:30, 10 o'clock the night before. The next morning at 6:30, hopefully the place has already been cleaned, right? Then all of your deliveries start 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30. Produce, seafood, meat, vegetables, all that stuff has to be checked in, check for quality, check to make sure it's exactly what was ordered. Then it has to be cleaned, dated, and put away. Then they have to process it, whatever sauces, whatever needs to be made, so that the night crew, when they come in at 3 o'clock, can make the actual menu items that you might order. And then they kill it until 10:30, 11 o'clock, and the whole process starts over again.
You brought up a great point. It's like, say someone ordered something and like they love baked potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
If you order a baked potato and the waiter tells you we ran out, that looks poorly on the restaurant.
Right.
I've never seen anybody ever order something that you don't have but you advertise about, which is on point. Your guy knows exactly how many steaks, how much chicken,
but
potatoes.
I don't mind if I go to a restaurant and I say, hey, can I get a half a dozen oysters, and it's like 9:30, and I say, God, we ran out, and I know why. Because a really well-run place only buys a certain amount because they're fresh, right? And you don't want them sitting on them, right? So sometimes there's some things that you have a limited supply of, and then sometimes there's some things that like I can make, or you could say, hey, I'm coming in Thursday night, make sure I got a baked potato. Set aside one for Mike and make sure he's got it, right? So it's an interesting. It's a little bit of a guessing game as to how much you're actually going to need.
But your chef's on point.
Well, now we know. I mean, we're like a machine. We know.
Yeah, you are, man.
We're like how many steaks, how many pounds of salmon, how many pounds of spaghetti squash. But I always thought it would be interesting to maybe one day do some sort of a video of like the moment something's ordered all the way through the process of how it lands at your table when you decide to order it arbitrarily.
I think that'd be great to do it.
Right? I mean, the amount of things that have to happen to go right for you to be able to order a baked potato when you decide to have it at 7:30 on a Thursday night, it had to have been ordered on Wednesday.
And to look so beautiful in that plate.
Right.
You guys are great at that, laying out the food.
Yeah.
It's like a piece of art.
Right. Because look, you come to us with a certain expectation.
Yeah.
Right? There's a certain standard of care, of hospitality, and of the quality of the food.
And so now you have a restaurant you're opening in Nashville.
Yeah. So, I look. We opened in L.A. We've now expanded with a back patio. So the front room holds about 90-95. The back patio holds about 60-65, 70 if you push it. Then I thought, it's time to explore other parts of the country. And so we went to different cities. And what I realized is there are a ton of guests that live and work and commute to LA that live in Nashville. And a lot of people from LA and New York have moved to Nashville. So we did a little research, and with the help of a lot of people, we settled on a great location.
I
We're
think
really
it's
looking forward to it.
Fantastic location.
Yeah,
you should do exceptionally well there.
Yeah, we're open in September, and just like having a product, just like starting a business, people come to me all the time and they say, "How do I start my own thing?" And I always say the same thing: you have to see it first.
Yeah.
If you can visualize it and actually see it, then at least you know what you're shooting for. But it doesn't mean that I don't feel anxiety. I've got a ton of anxiety about Nashville because I feel like we have a reputation and I don't want to let anybody down. And we've got to make sure that we deliver the same food, service, hospitality, and that warmth that you get. And we have to deliver that for that community that's so excited that we're coming. And but Nashville's a kick, and it's a great city.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Well, let me know when you have the grand opening.
I love
I'll
it.
Fly out.
Hopefully it's sometime in September, and I just got back, and we were there for a couple of days, and the more time I spend in that city, the more I love it.
I love going down there. I used to go there quite a bit because I have friends down there, and it's just a fun place to go to. It's wonderful people, so warm and friendly.
It is not to be taken lightly. It's a maturing city that has a lot to offer.
Yeah.
And such a wide variety of people in so many different industries, and they're so talented.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. And you can go there as a tourist and have a great time, and you can go. Every time I go there, I discover something new, and it's amazing. Like that all of these people, and there's so many different little areas, like Franklin, like Green Hills, like there's just Belmead. There's so many different neighborhoods and different pockets. That is fascinating. So I'm having a really good time kind of discovering that.
Fantastic. I'm happy for you.
No, it's great. And then, thank God in LA we're rebounding. It's a tough city.
Oh, you're doing great.
The whole city is hopefully kind of coming out of it, and it's just been hard to watch people lose a lot. Some people were terribly affected. Some of us were inconvenienced. Yeah. And then it's just nice to watch the city kind of rebounding, and it's a bend don't break attitude.
Yeah, well, you know what? After the fires, the first thing I want to do is have my dinner at your restaurant and see my friends instead of sitting around watching the catastrophe on the news.
Yeah.
And dwelling about it. I wanted to come out. I wanted to see people. I wanted to feel happiness instead of all that doom that we were getting watching the news showing all the destruction. Yeah. So I noticed people were out too. You're packed.
Yeah. No, so what was really nice was there were people that were bringing couples and families that they had either brought into their house or had come, and then there was I remember specifically there was a group of 6, and it was 2 people that lived here that hadn't been affected at all, 2 people that had been evacuated and they really couldn't go back to their home, and then 2 people that had completely lost everything. And it was just kind of so nice that they were all out. And they were all thanking me for having a place that they made them feel normal. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That's what I'm talking about. And so there have been hundreds and hundreds of examples of that, of people like coming together, helping people out.
That's
and
beautiful.
that's the stuff that gives you hope for, the city and we as people, as humans.
Well, thank you, Craig. I appreciate you coming on and
me?
sharing your journey, because you're going to inspire all these young entrepreneurs that want to know how you got to where you are today.
Look, I hope so. And I get a lot of questions and people, I'm very, very fortunate. There isn't a night I don't close my eyes, listen to the noise of the restaurant, and just have nothing but gratitude.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You got it.
I want to thank you for watching. Please remember, we need you to subscribe. We need your support. And when you come to California, come to West Hollywood and come see Craig's. He's there every single night, and I guarantee it'll be a fun experience. Thanks for watching.